20 years ago, I sat in my first budget review meeting with a legal pad and a calculator, thinking, if I just work hard enough, long enough, I'll eventually be free. I'm Kit. Yes, you are looking at my AI twin right now, an avatar I'm using to create my videos in order to keep my privacy while I navigate my own exit. I'm a millennial in my 40s, and I've spent almost 2 decades in corporate finance. And here's the thing nobody tells you when you're 25 and ambitious. The corner office isn't freedom. It's just a nicer cage. This video isn't about quitting your job tomorrow. It's not about some overnight side hustle miracle either. It's about a strategy, the one I actually used, to exit corporate life on my own terms, without needing to work full-time ever again. And the best part? It works even if you're starting in your 30s or 40s with almost nothing invested yet. So let's get into it. The Millennial Exit Plan. Here is the trap. Most of us were sold a single story. Get the degree, get the job, climb the ladder, and one day, retirement. Somewhere around 65. But something happens around your 15th year in corporate. You look at your calendar, back to back with meetings that could have been emails, and you realize the ladder doesn't lead to freedom. It leads to more ladder. I loved parts of my career. I'm not here to trash corporate finance. It taught me everything I'm about to teach you. But I watched brilliant people in the organizations I worked in, smarter than me, stay stuck for decades because they thought their only lever was a bigger salary or a bigger title. There's a second lever, and almost nobody pulls it early enough, but it's becoming more and more visible, especially after the pandemic lockdown in 2020, which we all had to cope with. So let's redefine exit, because I think this word scares people into never starting. Exiting corporate doesn't mean you stop working. It means you stop needing the paycheck. It means the job becomes a choice, not a requirement. Maybe you keep working because you like it. Maybe you go part-time. Maybe you walk away entirely. The point is, you decide. The strategy has 2 engines running side by side starting today while you're still collecting that steady paycheck. Engine 1, clever, boring, consistent investing, even if you're starting late, even if the amount feels small. Engine 2, side income that isn't just extra cash today, but is built to eventually run without you. Real passive income, not just a second job in disguise. Neither engine alone gets you there fast enough, but together they compound. Engine 1, investing late, starting small. Let's kill a myth right now, that you needed to start investing at 22 with a huge salary for this to work. I didn't max out anything in my 20s. I was paying off student loans and figuring out my place. Here's what actually matters more than when you start: how consistently you invest and how long you let it run without touching it. If you're in your 30s or 40s, starting with a few $100s a month into low-cost index funds, you still have 15, 20, 25 years of compounding ahead of you. That is enough time to turn modest, consistent contributions into a meaningful portfolio. Not because you picked a hot stock, but because you didn't panic sell during the years it looked boring. My rule was simple: automate it so I never had to decide twice. Same day every month, same percentage, no matter what the market was doing. Boring investing is the whole strategy. The excitement is not the point. Engine 2, side hustles that become passive income. Now, the second engine, and this is where most people get it wrong. They think side hustle means a second job, freelancing nights and weekends, trading hours for dollars, just like their day job, except worse paid and more exhausting. That's not the goal. The goal is building something once that keeps paying after you stop actively working on it. Think digital products, templates, online courses, a niche membership, a content channel like this one. Things where the heavy lifting happens up front, building, refining, launching, and then it runs largely on its own, generating income while you're in a meeting or asleep or on vacation. I started my first digital product on the side, in the evenings, using 20 years of spreadsheet skills nobody outside finance ever seemed to want, until I packaged it for people who did. It didn't replace my salary in month 1. It didn't need to. It needed to exist and compound in its own way, exactly like the investment engine. I want to be honest with you about the middle part, because it's the part nobody shows. For the first year or 2, both engines felt like nothing. My investment account grew by amounts that felt embarrassing to even calculate. My side income didn't even cover a grocery bill. I obviously kept my corporate job the entire time. I want to be clear about that. This wasn't quit and hope. This was building quietly, in the background, while showing up to my 9 to 5 like normal. The shift wasn't dramatic. It was a spreadsheet moment. Because of course it was. I'm an accountant at heart. One evening, I updated my net worth tracker and realized my side income and investment growth combined had quietly crossed a threshold. Not I can retire, but I have options I didn't have last year. That feeling is the entire point of this strategy, not a finish line, a widening set of choices. Now, let's look over how the two engines combine. Here's why you need both, not just one. Investing alone, starting later in life, is powerful but slow. It needs time more than anything. And time is the one thing you can't manufacture. Side income alone can grow faster, but it's less predictable. And if you're not careful, it turns into another job instead of an asset. Put them together, and they cover each other's weaknesses. Your investments run quietly in the background, untouched, compounding on autopilot. Your side income adds fuel, extra contributions, a buffer, sometimes a faster path to replacing chunks of your salary. Over years, the two lines on your net worth chart stop looking like two small side projects and start looking like an exit plan. Quick word on the mistakes I see most, because avoiding them matters as much as any strategy. Mistake 1, waiting for the right amount to start investing. There isn't one. Start with what you have. Mistake 2, chasing side hustles that are really just disguised jobs, trading time for money with no asset left behind. Mistake 3, quitting the day job too early, before either engine has real momentum. This is a strategic exit, not an impulsive one. The corporate paycheck is your runway. You need to use it. So if you're in your 30s or 40s, watching this and thinking it's too late, it isn't. It's exactly on time. Start this week. Automate one investment contribution, even a small one. Pick one skill or piece of knowledge you already have from your career, the thing colleagues ask you for help with, and sketch out how it could become a product, a course, or a resource other people would pay for. You don't need the whole plan today. I built the strategic exit because I wish someone had shown me this path in my 20s instead of my 40s. But 40s worked out just fine, and yours will too. Thank you so much for watching. If this resonated, I would really appreciate it if you subscribed. I break down one piece of this exit strategy every week, the investing side, the side income side, and the real numbers behind both, as well as some valuable insights of corporate life. So tell me in the comments, which engine are you starting with first, investing or building your first side income asset? Also, if you would like to use the same tool I showcased in this video to track your wealth progress, you can find the link in the description below. As always, I'll see you on the runway.